Well, torn knee ligaments, broken ankles, shoulder reconstructions. There's no doubt gymnastics is a tough sport. One of Queensland's best has come back from many of these setbacks and succeeded in a sport dominated by Eastern Europe and the United States and Asia. Thomas Pichler recently announced his retirement after travelling to the London Olympics as a reserve. One of the world's best floor exponents, Pichler devoted 20 years of life to the sport. Grandstand Zane Bojack put together this feature on the dual Commonwealth Games gold medalist.
Thomas Pichler, born in Austria, but now from Queensland, Australia, 7th in the all-around.
He is a very high tumbler, very clean as well. That's super. Just missed his shoulders and got an uncomfortable bounce from that roll, but he's a good floor worker.
Never see him clear. I could have it all. Whenever you are near.
Thomas, we're here at Chandler. We're in the gymnastics hall. You've spent a lot of time here over the years. What are you thinking now that you've finally pulled the pin in your career?
Oh yeah, still get a bit sad when I come in here. I've had a lot of good memories from this place, and you know, I've spent most of my life, you know, last 20 years in here. So it is a bit sad to know that I'm not going to be doing it anymore.
How did the decision come to pass that you decided that gymnastics was no longer part of Thomas Pichler's life?
Yeah, I guess there was a number of factors. I guess my shoulder was giving me a lot of grief, and I had that checked out recently, and it was either have surgery and keep training or avoid surgery and retire, and that was one of the biggest factors. I guess my age is another one. You know, if I stay around for another 4 years, I'll be 30 at the next Olympics, and you know, as an athlete, money isn't really something that we get a lot of, and to continue doing gymnastics and to try support myself for another 4 years and then be 30 years old with not much under my name, it was a bit of a daunting thought. So a number of factors put together, and it just felt right at this time. The last 4 years I've achieved everything that I've wanted to, except for missing out from the Olympic spot. So apart from that, I'm really satisfied with where I'm at in my career, and it just felt like a good time.
Double tuck at the end, a little bit deep on the landing, jump forward, but that is a good routine.
So maybe somewhere between his all-around score of 14.5 and his qualifying score of 15.1, and that is going to be the score to beat, one would think.
What about World Championships? I don't think people understand how hard it is to finish in the top 10 of a World Championships, but you've done that on the floor. Tell us what you felt like when they said, Thomas, you're in the top 10 in the world.
Yeah, it was actually quite an unbelievable achievement for myself. I didn't even know it was happening. Right, I finished my qualifying session. I went home and I was hanging out with the boys, and I still had to wait for a few other qualifying sessions to finish to find out where I ended up. And yeah, I got a phone call from the head coach that night saying, by the way, you've placed 10th. And at that stage, it was quite daunting, because that meant I was second reserve for finals, so I had to keep in shape for the rest of the week and make sure I was all good in case something did happen to anyone out of the contenders in front of me.
Well, talking about finals, no doubt Delhi in the Commonwealth Games was a halcyon moment, not just for you, but for also Australian men's gymnastics winning the teams event. Just how big of an achievement was that for you?
Oh, it was huge. To win that team event was always our goal for a long, long time, and not even our team, the teams before that was their main goal, and they'd never achieved it before. And then when we did that, it was definitely the highlight of my career, to stand on the podium with 4 other guys that I've grown up with and know very, very well. To share that moment and that achievement with them was outstanding.
And in the all-arounds, I know it was disappointing for you not actually making the men's segment of the London Olympics. You missed out to your teammate and Josh Jeffress, but you have done well for Australia internationally too in the all-arounds. From your perspective, how hard is it getting that Australian man into that final and perhaps, you know, one day getting Olympic gold?
Yeah, I guess it is very difficult. It's gymnastics around the world is very different in terms of the strength that other countries have, and we've always been chasing the other countries, but we've taken a different approach. I guess the new head coach has really looked at it differently, and instead of constantly chasing the other guys, we've taken a different approach where we're looking to develop bigger routines, bigger skills, and then come out in the next 4 years with that star value and difficulty to match the Japanese, the Americans, and the Chinese and things like that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting how it goes in the next 4 years, and hopefully they all do really well.
What about your relationship with Josh Jeffers? I know he got the spot for Australia in the 2012 London Olympics, but you guys have a bit of a special bond as well.
Yeah, I guess you can say that. I think he came here when he was 12 and I was already training here, so since we were 12, so it's been the last almost 15 years we've been training together. And yeah, we shared coaches, we've travelled on teams around the world, so it's been good, and he's a great friend of mine, and yeah, I can't say anything bad about him. We've had great times together. Unfortunately, this time there was only one spot. Normally we're shooting for a team and we can both be on the team, and you know, we back each other. But this time it's just the nature of the sport, and that's what happened.
Thomas, what was that experience like? You're actually in London. You had to be there in case Josh actually did a hamstring, but what was the whole experience like during the games?
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. It was very hectic in London. There was thousands and thousands of people there. But yeah, I got to watch Josh compete. I watched the Australian girls compete, some swimming, athletics, boxing. So I got to watch a fair bit of sports. To be amongst the atmosphere there was also really, really cool. And you know, I felt like I was really part of the team in some stages. I got to go into the village and catch up with Josh, and checked out the village atmosphere and how that was all going. Ate at the dining hall, got all the good food there, and you know, it was really, really cool, and I met a number of Australian athletes that I've seen before from different competitions and events, and it just blows your mind. It was so well run in London, and it was so professional. They did a great job, and you know, I'd love to go as an athlete one day, but unfortunately that's not going to happen anymore.
What do you say? Do you hang up the wristband, or what is it that you actually hang up when you stop being a gymnast?
Yeah, we hang up the guards, the guards that we wear on high bar and rings, the leather straps. Yeah, we hang our guards up.
Before you hung up those guards, what was the greatest thing you achieved in the sport of gymnastics?
The major highlight would be the team event at Commonwealth Games, and you know, to get that monkey off Australia's back was just absolutely fantastic, and to do it with a bunch of friends was even better.
Zane Bojack there talking to Thomas Pichler, who's decided to hang up the guards after a fine career in gymnastics. And thanks very much to Zane for putting that together for us.